stepping out of the conference in the South to the conference in the North. Paul, I would have told you with certainty we're doing the post-game show about 3:15 p.m. We're recapping Ohio State, Indiana. I would have told you on ESPN, in fact, maybe I did with Joey and Dan, that Indiana had no place being in the playoff after what we saw against Ohio State. But then everything started happening around them, and by math, they're probably still going to be in.
Yeah, well, this game was really tight other than a couple of special teams plays. Yeah, well, that's the difference between a great team and a good team. And I had them out, you're right, at 6 o'clock last night, but I don't they're going to be in, so it really doesn't make any difference whether we think it's the right call or not.
Yeah, and I said it on the Sunday Bloody Sunday show. Like you had to go in defending the 106 ranked resume, and Curt Cignetti did. I mean, he's a boisterous, confident coach,
Yeah.
and he'll tell anyone to listen to piss off. And you can't do that and then do that.
No.
And so I was ready to say, okay, Indiana, I was wrong. If it was a 3-point game or it was a 7-point game, but mid-third quarter, it's like, I mean, this was your one chance, and they didn't give us anything to take. I mean, do you take Indiana any more seriously than you did before this morning?
No, but I tell you what we need, Matt. We need like the first four, and the game that we need the week before the playoffs start is Alabama versus Indiana, and because
Yeah.
uh, I mean I don't know enough about either. I mean I've watched both teams play all year, and they're kind of exasperating to watch, but yeah. It's okay. Let Indiana get in there, and to me, then that will be a test. But good for Curt Cignetti. I mean, he never. I mean, the end of the game was just comical. You know, when the guy slid, and then Ryan said, "Screw it, we want the touchdown," and that was an important touchdown, I thought,
Yeah.
because before that, you know, the Fox boys could argue. I mean, this was a two-score game when you and I know it wasn't a two-score game, but let get used to it. Unless Indiana loses to Purdue, which is what, about a 4 billion to 1 shot,
Yeah.
we're going to see them.
We're going to see them. We're going to see Penn State, who
Yeah.
had to
Oh,
skate by on a fake punt against
exactly.
Minnesota. You know,
Yeah.
I so I understand what the masses will say. 2-loss teams, 3-loss teams, SEC, but I get it. And then you're going to look at, but I can't sit there and make a legitimate argument for Penn State because they haven't done anything.
No, but and I think what you're going to hear from the Vox Populi is we better not get a 3-loss SEC team. And Matt, the only way I could advocate that is if it's Georgia in the championship game, and it's a very tight game and they lose, and then I think what the committee does is they just check a box with the best league in football, saying you earned a right in there, and whatever. But beyond that, I mean, I apologize. I just grabbed an SEC jersey here,
Yeah, way to go. Way to help the narrative, Paul.
but you know, for those who are interested, I'm not going to stand up and advocate for Ole Miss and Alabama. Would you?
At the moment, no, I would not. Unless, yeah, I mean, it would have to be something of epic
Yeah.
disaster.
No, listen. If we had a debate, if we're sitting there trying to decide Alabama, Ole Miss, Indiana, and Penn State, and that's a different story. But we're not being asked because
You,
we would never get on that committee.
you know what's funny about all this is, do you think Ole Miss would beat Penn State or Indiana?
Yes, I do.
Exactly. So that's the irony in all of it.
I mean, I saw Ole Miss beat Penn State last year, and
Right. I mean,
I mean,
we would all
but
say it.
yeah, but listen, I mean, after the bloodbath in the SEC yesterday, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cover
There
my
you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, professionalism has been restored.